yourself in this little boy's shoes. How would you answer the question, "Where is your mommy?" when, in fact, you didn't have one? According to the 2010 census, half of gays and 41% of lesbians want children. 65,500 children are being raised by gay and lesbian parents, and approximately 3,588 of these couples live in Texas. Today I'm going to explain the reasons why we should forbid homosexual adoption in Texas, how I propose we make this change, and how this change will benefit society. First, I'm going to talk about the reasons we should forbid homosexual adoption in Texas. According to Focus on the Family, adoption is meant to serve for the best interest of the children. This is simply done by providing a loving mother and father to raise the child. In order for children to develop properly, they must have daily access to the unique and complementary ways that mothers and fathers parent. For example, a little girl raised by two men will miss out on the daily access of a feminine influence in her life, or a little boy raised by two women will miss out on the daily access of a masculine influence in his life, and vice versa. A little girl raised by a woman won't get the masculine influence she needs, or a little boy raised by two men won't get the feminine influence he needs. All this said, I believe that for the best outcome of children, preference in adoption placement should ideally be given to married mother and father couple and households. According to Malachi 2:15, it asks, "Has not the Lord made them being a husband and a wife, one in flesh and spirit? They are his, but why one? Because he is seeking godly offspring." God calls us to raise our children with a godly influence and in his own image. Raising a child in a homosexual atmosphere does not fulfill this call. Adoption is meant to provide children with a mother and father when the original family is broken. Unfortunately, this process is often used as an avenue to advance homosexual rights. Efforts to advance these rights often place a higher priority than the desire to parent. As evidenced by the Fight for Adoption Rights campaign, the current movement to protect and promote homosexual rights threatens the adoption arena in children's best interests. Anti-discrimination policies and judicial decisions often negate the child's needs for tolerance and equality. Though they may push for it, homosexual couples, and all couples for that matter, possess no right to adopt. Instead, the children do have a right to grow up with the love that only a mother and a father can jointly provide. Now that we've talked about the reasons Texas should get rid of homosexual adoption, we're going to talk about how we can make this change. According to Family Bonds, a book written by Elizabeth Bartlett, it is not natural, in fact it is impossible, for two men together or two women together to have a child. She states that the law should be an imitation of natural biology. As I stated earlier, 3,588 couples are raising children in Texas, gay and lesbian couples, that is. Texas state policy says that an individual homosexual can adopt a child, as Veronica said, and then their partner can sign on as a co-caretaker or parent to the child. Texas state policy does not specify anything about joint homosexual adoption. Out of our 50 states, Florida is one of the very few states that strictly forbids homosexuals from adopting. I propose that Texas should take on Florida's adoption mentality. In order to do this, we must start somewhere, and a petition is always easy. At www.usign.org, it is easy to circulate and manage your petitions. In order for the state of Texas to view your content, all you need is a minimum of about 10,000 petition signatures. After this, you can present the petition to Senator Troy Fraser, and he will then take this issue to the higher standards of Texas politics. Now that we have discussed a method to raise our concerns towards this topic, let's look at how this change will benefit society. Adopted children already need acceptance. This will prevent them from having to suffer any longer from having two same-sex parents, two mothers or two fathers. It will also give adopted children what they deserve, a mother and a father to jointly raise them. Many people believe that fewer children become adopted because gay and homosexual parents adopt so many children. This belief is false. According to national adoption statistics, there are more than 425 married couples for every child that needs to be adopted. With this, number is clearly not an issue. This policy will make Texas' stand on homosexual rights clear. It will also help prevent the beauty of adoption from being distorted for some homosexual agenda. Promoting adoption does not work. Today, you must defend adoption against initiatives that would distort its purpose. In conclusion, James Dobson, the founder of Focus on a Family, once said, "A loving society comes to the aid of motherless or fatherless families, but does not intentionally create them." As members of society, do we support these families or reject them? There is no riding the fence on this topic. Therefore, our state's current policies ride the fence. We must take a stand and make a point that this state policy is wrong. Is adoption meant to be about what adults want or children need? Let us join together and petition this issue before matters come out of hand.